Alright, for this recipe you're going to need 3 eggs, a 1/4 cup of sugar, 3 tablespoons of butter, 3/4 of cup of honey, 1 cup of pecans or more, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla, and 1 Pyrex dish at least 12 inches long to put it in. Right, well, this recipe calls for 3/4 of a cup, but I've decided to do a 1/2 of a cup and 3 eggs to start. They are put in the bowl, mix them together thoroughly. It's mixed up, then you can add the butter. I called for 3 tablespoons, but I decided for this particular dish to go a full stick of butter. Once the butter is mixed in, you can mix in the honey. Usually you use Caro light syrup on this, but I find that the honey actually has less of a saturation point on it, so I'm going to do the 3/4 cup of honey as prescribed. I do my pecans for this particular recipe is to crush them in a bag. That way they're nice and bunched up and easier to form into the recipe for the blondie bars. This is the point whenever you add the pecans, and I'm going to use 2 cups just because. You can see 2 cups is a lot. After you mix that up, you have to add the vanilla. After adding the tablespoon, then mix it, and this will be the last thing you add before you pour it. After mixing in the vanilla, that's whenever you pour. Here is the Pyrex pan that I'm going to use. Bunch of bananas for scale. To spray properly with cooking spray, make sure to spread out the filling as much as possible so that whenever it gets cooked, it cooks evenly. Make sure to preheat to 350 degrees. Once it is preheated at 350 degrees, make sure to cook for 50 minutes. Remember though, cooking times may vary. Remember to cook it on the center rack. After the 50 minutes, it should be a light golden brown with some slightly darker edges. Be sure to let it cool for about 20 minutes, and while it's cooling, cut it into individual candy bars. This batch seems to be a little crumbly, so the next batch I'm going to be making less so that it will be thinner, as well as increasing the number of eggs. End result seems to be similar to brownies, so next time I will put more eggs in and make it thinner and cook it better then.